Uh, I don't know. Playing the last 5 games was pretty hard. Once I got on that break, I could barely look at my box. um, I don't know what the emotions are. I'm a little overwhelmed right now, and I don't. I normally feel like I can grasp things pretty quickly and clearly, and I certainly don't feel that way right now.
I think you ought to be clapped too.
Oh, thanks, Doug. Thank you.
The tradition of the press that there's no applause in the press box. There's no applause at a press conference. There's no applause at anything like that. But you deserve it.
Thanks, bud. Thank you.
Willie?
Andy, you've had a lot of opportunity to reflect on your career since you've made the announcement and even leading up to it. What do you consider the most rewarding aspect that you've experienced?
It's so hard. I mean, I get asked these big questions, and I'm not good at choosing. I'm not sure. I don't. I know the things that are certain is I didn't take any of it for granted. I think I went about things the right way. Umpires might disagree with me, but I was consistent, and I don't feel like I left a lot on the table on a daily basis. So that's what I look back, and that's probably what I'm proud of.
Andy, you may not remember this. You were 17 years old. You're playing in Delray Beach on Saturday night, dates night. The fans were all over you. A woman says, "Andy, would you sign my check?"
Yeah.
And you said, "I wasn't brought up that way." So how were you?
I had just never seen a boob before, to be honest. It was just, yeah. That was overwhelming for me. This is the second time I've been overwhelmed.
Thoughts were going through your mind? Can you just share one or two when you're about to serve or receive? How do you keep things out of your mind? What was running through your mind?
Like I said, it was tough once he kind of got up there in that match. It was a different set of circumstances than my previous matches. So and then you start thinking about how real it is, and a lot of thoughts go through your head. You're thinking about matches you're playing when you're 12, or you're thinking about I was thinking about my mom driving me to practices all over the place, and you just think about a million things, and then all of a sudden you have to play a point against one of the best players in the world. So it certainly was a mixed bag there at the end.
Andy, I'm assuming you've never served years in a rock.
No, I mean you try to keep it together as best you can, and I've done better over the last week or so than I thought I would. But like I said, it's all new for me. This was all new for me. I'd seen most things that this game had to offer, and this was entirely new. And it was emotional, but not emotional like we normally have it. It's normally a very selfish emotion for us. It's if we do badly, then it costs us something. And if we do well, it's we get great things. And this was about something bigger. It wasn't about ranking points or paychecks or anything else. It was just it was fun this week. I felt like I was 12 years old playing in a park again. It was extremely innocent, and that was fun. I enjoyed it.
Were you actually losing during that last series?
Well, literally losing it. I almost got broken. No, I don't remember. I mean, I felt like I was on the verge for a little while, so I'm not sure what actually got through.
Andy, before the start of the tournament, did you craft an ending for yourself? And what was it? What would have been the perfect ending for you, do you think?
No, I didn't. I don't really prepare things. I didn't know before the tournament that was that. I knew in the middle of my match in the first round, and then I gave myself a day not to be, kind of reactionary. And I woke up one of the days, and Brooke was out running an errand, and I kind of had an hour and a half to myself, and I was just walking back and forth, and then kind of started texting her frantically, telling her I needed to chat, and then saying it out loud was the hardest part for me, and then that was I started calling people so they wouldn't hear it from you bunch first. So yeah, I don't know that I crafted any part of this besides coming in here and sharing it with you all.
Chris?
And do you think, having said all that, the way it worked out at the end, playing Del Potro on that court, it wasn't a night match today, obviously a day match, but do you feel good about the way that the setting and the way it finished in that sense?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that I had a plan. I didn't. I was just gonna try to win. It was perfect. This whole week's been perfect. Rain delayed match, come back the next day. It's like typical U.S. Open. You're playing with me at the end, So, it was. I guess it was right.
Andy, you win the first set. You get broken the first game, the second set. Did that really turn any momentum there, or did it matter?
Was it the third set or?
Third.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think I played really well up until the second set breaker, and I played 2 pretty bad points there, and then. Once he kind of gets his feet under him, he likes to swing free, and I think he freed up a little bit, and I gave him a couple of looks, and the third set was a bit of a wash. I think the fourth set, the 1-all game, I had a pretty good look there. I think that was the point for me to try to turn it.
Okay, Matt?
Andy, a lot of players, well, all players come on the tour very young and they're successful very young. Honestly, how long did it take you to put winning and losing in perspective and kind of understand that person?
When do you learn perspective? I don't know. I think I've always had a pretty decent grasp of it. Obviously you're not happy. No one's happy when they have a bad day at work. Especially if your bad day at work occurred in front of a lot of people, and then you had to go explain yourself. It's not always easy, but I never wanted to be the guy who complained about something I had because I realized how lucky I've been. So I think I've always realized that. I don't think there's I don't know that there was an age where I didn't realize that.
Rick?
Andy, you mentioned the day of work and having to explain yourself, good or bad, and that is part of the job. Especially somebody who's played at your stature.
Mm-hmm.
You get the big one. And you're sitting here for the last time talking to us. You've been through some highs, some lows together. Just kind of final thoughts on sitting in the final press conference. Relationship with us.
I made a joke when Austin and Trim came and got me. I was walking out of the locker room. I said, "Man, I think I have more expectation in this press conference than I did in the match today." We've like you said. I think it's at the point now where I look back on rough moments fondly, in these rooms, and I hope you all do too. There's certainly been some good ones. There've been some funny ones. There's been some horrible ones, both ways. So, but it wasn't boring.
Bill?
Andy, you talked about sort of having recollections out there in the heat of the matches that was winding down. What were the matches when you were 12, and what did your mom have to go through in terms of traipsing around or early wake up, long miles?
Jeez. I mean, sun up to sundown. I mean, my brother played too, so it was either just she was running a shuttle service for a couple of years, basically, pro bono shuttle service for us. And I said the other day when they were asking about my parents, and I said they gave me every opportunity that they didn't have. So I was fortunate, and after the fact, they've never really wanted anything. I think they've just been happy that I tried to make the most of opportunities given.
In the back.
Andy, you've been long enough around new American tennis players, the younger ones. Who do you think can fill in your shoes and be the next American #1?
Let's not do the next. Let's let them have their own personality and let's let them do their thing and let them grow. I think I'd love to help any of them. I think they know that the door's open, but there's no filling shoes. I think we got to be looking for individuals, not clones.
Howard.
How do you want your career to be remembered? What are you proudest of your playing career?
I want everyone to look back and think that I was awesome. I don't know. That's for you all to decide. Again, it's tough for me to be objective and kind of look outside in. You guys will do a fair job expressing it, I'm sure.
When you will talk to your kids,
I was hoping you would jump in.
okay, what will you tell them first? Your father was?
I don't know. I don't know. We're talking about a conversation that's 10 years away, and you're asking me to kind of articulate it. Hopefully, I'll have some recent stuff that I could tell them about.
You to the left.
Before that last game, the crowd starts chanting, "Let's go, Andy!" And you've had moments like that out on Ash before, but it's going to be tough to replace. Do you think you'll be longing for those moments as the years go by?
Oh, I'm not ignorant to the fact that it's a huge part of me, and that I won't miss it. Of course I will. I'm not pretending like there aren't going to be hard days, but I feel pretty settled in the decision, and I feel content and happy with it.
Did you bottle that moment today, though?
I was trying. Like I said, it's you kind of have to wrestle your thoughts and then the task at hand. Because it's not done until you're actually done, and so it was challenging.
Peter.
Andy, does one celebrate a retirement?
Whew. I mean, I'm probably not going to be opposed to a beer or 10. See how that goes.
And how hard was it for you to talk to the crowd after the match? And what were your thoughts when you were sitting, just moments after the match, your head was in the towel and everything?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard talking in those moments. Your voice gets a little scratchy, and you can stand there all day. The two moments I remember that it was kind of hard was Wimbledon, and kind of got through that one. But today it was hard. I didn't know where to start, what to say. There's so many things I wanted to say, but I didn't have confidence in talking for a long time. Without dribbling a little bit. So, hopefully I did a decent job, but I had no confidence going into talking out loud after that one.
Andy, you've carried the torch for men's tennis for this country for a long time. Is it fitting that you end your career as the last American male standing?
I would have rather not had it that way. Especially with kind of the way Marty went out, and I didn't like seeing that, and that being the reason why. I've never been against having company. I would have loved for a lot more of us to still been in.
Cindy.
Andy, is there anything you didn't get to say out there a little while ago that you want to say now?
I'm sure there are a lot of things that I'm going to want to say. It's tough at a given moment with a line or two. I don't know that I can kind of encompass everything that I'm thankful for and everything that I would want to say, all the people I'd want to talk to in this short amount of time.
Okay, a couple more. Kaz.
And no doubt about it, you were given the role of the most popular tennis player out there. You became the ambassador of tennis, Saturday Night Live, all the commercials. How cool was that? Was it always fun? Was it ever something that was a heavy duty also? If you carried that role.
No, I mean it was a great time. I mean, there's no, I hear people who have some sort of success, complain about it sometimes, and I don't get it. I don't understand it all the time. Like I've told you all forever, for every one negative, there's 10 positives, and I don't think that's ever not been the case.
Wayne?
Any of all the tributes you today, one of the most striking to me seemed to be the way Juan Martin handled it. And I mean, when they announced him as the winner, he pointed his racket to you. When they interviewed him on the court, he basically said, "This is your day," and even how he was with you at the net. So I'm just curious what your thoughts were about that and what he did say to you when you met and embraced.
Well, to tell you what kind of guy he is, I wasn't surprised by any of it, because I don't think you'll find someone that doesn't like him or doesn't think he's a class act. I was happy that I got the opportunity to play him today, and and what probably wasn't an easy situation for him, I thought he handled it great, and I'm thankful to him for that.
Andy, when Andre retired 2 years ago, it seemed fairly clear that he had sort of prepared some remarks for when he was going to get the microphone after his last match. Did you ever think about doing that, or is that just not your style?
I didn't think of it. I probably should have. Andre's always a little more prepared than I am. I didn't think much about it. I kind of assumed that I would just be answering questions. I'm better at answering questions than I am creating something on my own. So when that happened, I kind of took a second. But no, I didn't have anything prepared.
Willie?
What has been your approach to the burden of being the face of American tennis and always being asked those questions and having that pressure on you?
It just is what it is. It's something that I wasn't going to shy away from it, for sure. I mean, there's, you get knocked down, the burden, I understand it. I understand the fact that we come from, a place which probably has had more success than any other tennis country, where there are certain expectations, and I fell right on the back end of the golden generation, and so that was just the cards that were dealt. But as tough a situation as it is, in the grand scheme of things, it's a dream. I mean, it's something you want. I mean, that's not hard. Someone who's got however many kids and is working 2 jobs to put food, that's hard. What I had to deal with wasn't hard.
Matt?
And you talked about, as a junior, at least early days, like one a very good player. So maybe you can just, were there a couple I can't believe?
To be fair, I was really good when I was like 11. Then I got terrible, and then I got good again. Yeah.
When you got to the pros, I don't know if it was here in 2003 or some Wimbledon or Davis Cup, after winning a match where you said, I just cannot believe it's me holding this trophy or accomplishing this.
Most things. I went from being about 40 in the world. It was just fast. Everything happened fast. I think I was 40 or 50 in the world in juniors in '99, and then all of a sudden, I was 14 in the world after I lost to Leighton here in 2001. And just lost to him, and I was feeling pretty good about the way I was playing, at the time. So, and then kind of everything else that came along with it. After that, I don't know that I grasped what was happening while it was happening, but I certainly kind of get it now. But it just happened. It happened really fast. So there were a lot of moments like that.
Bill?
You're a young kid playing in the garage against the net, beating it. Then you come out to the real world, and you really accomplished 3 of the 4 goals you've always said you wanted, with the Open #1 and the Great Davis Cup. Just talk about, in your own mind, your own feeling of achievement, and from a little kid who just loved this sort of game, that's what's the fun.
Yeah, it's funny because if you tell a 12 or 13-year-old kid that he's going to win, 30 some odd titles and become one of 20 for this and 20 for that, and be number one and have a slam, and you'd take that in a heartbeat. And going back, I would have taken that in a heartbeat. So it was I a lot of tough moments, but unbelievable moments. I mean, who gets to play in Wimbledon finals, and who gets to play in an Open, and who gets to be part of a winning team, and most people don't get to experience that. So like I said, I've said it a million times, and I'm probably boring you guys now, but I appreciate it, and I realize the opportunities that I had.
And being just a special friend and mentor for a generation of players, really too. Is that special? Is that right up there with the trophies?
I don't know. You'd have to ask them. I always just tried to be a dude around the guys. You just try to be a human. I don't know. I don't think there's. That's what you should do.
Richard?
Do you envision a plaque in Newport, Rhode Island with your name on it?
It's not for me. That's not for me to say. It's not my choice. Obviously, it's the ultimate honor of any tennis player, and that's something you'd be. I'd be extremely humbled by, but I'm certainly not gonna. I'm not gonna be presumptuous about anything, and if it happens, I'll be thrilled and amazed, and if it doesn't, I'll probably still be thrilled and amazed with what I was able to see.
Two more, Scott.
Do you recall the first time you played in this stadium and your reactions to it all?
I played. Well, I hit in it when I was a junior, warm Moya up, but I think I played Slava Dosadel in 2001, won 6-4, 6-2, 6-1. So yes. Hope I didn't get that wrong.
We'll check it.
Thank you, I'm sure.
Scott?
Spoke earlier about 91 and being here.
I haven't yet. It's not really Jimmy's style to kind of get in the middle when it's cool to get in the middle. So we'll probably touch base in the next couple of weeks.
Okay, Doug, last question.
And you've worked with a lot of different people through your career, and every athlete has a lot of hands and touches over the course of your career. And just wondering if there was anything that someone said to you, either a coach, a friend, a peer, that when you look back, sort of helped you as you navigated the ups and downs of your career.
I learned a lot of things. I was lucky because, I got to be around all of our best champions, and I knew them all well. All my idols became friends and people that I could talk to. I remember doing exos with Andre, and he'd teach me things like, you leave a room and it's someone you're going to see again. Write some names down. Remember names. That's something that you should do. That's a sign of respect. And he would show me, you kind of, when you're 18, you kind of fumble along and mumble your name, and he wasn't okay with that. And, so little things like that he helped a lot with.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
For